I am Rusiru Kodikara in the Eagles batch at Java Institute for Advanced Technology, and today I am going to talk about question set 24 on my DBMS questions. So here I have explained these previous on my question set 32 and question set 31. So here you have known of I have made the ER diagram on my MySQL workbench on previous videos, and you know how I have designed it. So now I have forward engineered it and I have make it as a database. So now I am going to enter these data that I have given on my questions at 34 for these tables. So here it's first asking enter the data in the table below into the user type table. So here it's have a table as user type ID and the user type name. Here ID is 1, user type name is employee, then ID is 2, customer, 3 is supplier. So here now I will go to my MySQL software. So here you can go to the query tab. So here you can make the insert queries. So today I am going to use the queries to insert this data. So here first we will look how to insert this data. So you know there are having 3 type of queries. So here first type is this. So here you can see insert into user type, then here I have give the columns, then values as 1 and employee. So next type is here you can see it's I have give as insert user type values to and customer. So here I haven't tell the columns. So here every field I have to give a value. So here you can see as 1, then employee, then here I have didn't rename any columns. So here didn't have mentioned any column, and I give the values as for the 2 columns, both 2 columns as 2 customers. So next type is here. So here you can see it's insert into earlier show center dot user type, then user type name values supplier. So here you can see I have given the ID and here I have mentioned our column name as user type name. So if I go to the user type table, so here you can see ID is auto increment. Then here there's no need to give any value for this column. Here I can keep it empty as this. So then after that I'm going to execute these 3 queries at once. So here you can see here affected rows 3. So if I go to the data, so here you can see here it's a field already employee, customer and supply. So now we have entered this data to our earlier shoe centers user type table. So we have completed the first question by these 3 queries. So next I am going to the second question. So on the second question it's asking enter the data of the table below in the city table. So here it's have 5 cities as Colombo, Kandy, Kurunegala, then Matale and Gamba. So here we can use 5 queries. So I am going to put the 5 queries now. So now I am on the SQL query browser. So I will erase these queries and I will enter the queries for entering the data to our city table. So here's the queries to enter the data on our city tables, the same as here it's insert into city name, values, Colombo. So here it's have the city ID on our table. So as I explained on the previous question, here you can see here city ID is int and it's auto increment. So there's no need of giving a value for each this. So here we can give the column name as city name and we can give the values for each column. So now I will execute this. So here you can see it's affected rows 5. So if I go to the data type, so here you can see all the 5 data have entered to our table. So next is third question. So on the third question it's asking enter the table below gender these data. So here its gender ID is 1 and gender name is male, only two genders as male and female. So here I will go to the HDSQL query browser and query tab, and I will erase these 5 queries. So here I will put the next 2 queries to insert the genders. So here's the 2 queries for enter the values to gender tables. So here you can see the query is insert into gender, gender name, values as male. Then again the same query as insert into gender, gender name, values female. So when I execute this, it will be enter all the data to our gender table. So here you can see it's affected rows 2, same as on the our gender table also. Gender ID is auto increment, so there's no need of entering a value for it. So here we can specify the column name as gender name, and here we can give the values as this. So here on the data tab you can see here it's male and female have entered as this. So now we have entered the data for our city table, then the gender table and user type table. So next on the question 4 is it's asking enter the data in the table below into user table. So here it's have 7 rows as user ID, then the first name, last name, contact number, status, user type ID, address ID and gender ID. So you know here first we have to enter the user type, then the address and gender. So here first we have to complete the question 5 before doing question 4, because here you can see if I go to the user table, on our table B, here you can see its address ID is related with our address table. So if our address table is empty, does make many errors. So first we have to enter the data to our address table. So here this is the queries for our entering the data to our address table. Here it's the queries insert into address the column names as number, street 1, then the street 2 and city ID. So here values on first is number 5 of 2, Paleguna Polgola 2. So here if I execute this, now I'm going to execute this. So you can see it's affected rows 5. So on our data tab, if I refresh this, so you can see here it's address ID 1 and number 5 over 2, then Paleguna Polgola. So it's same as here, it's 5 addresses. On the question also it's given 5 addresses. So now we can do the question 4, because we have entered the data to our user type table, then we can take the relationship with it. Now we have entered the data to our address table, so we can take it also. Then on the question 3 we have entered the data to our gender table also. So then here I'm going to enter the data to our user table. So I will erase this whole query. Then I will enter the query to here to insert the data to our user table. So here you can see the query is insert into user, first name, last name, contact number, status, user type ID, then the gender ID and the address ID as values of Amanda Moses, then the mobile number and 1125. This means here we have take the relationship with these tables. So here we have take the ID of each. So when I execute this, you can see here it's have affected row 7 means we have entered 7 data to our user table. So next is on the question set 6, it's telling enter the data in the table below in system login. So here it's have login ID, then the username, passwords and user ID. So the query should be insert into system login, then we can put 2 brackets, then here it would be the gray question mark, then the columns of system login we are going to enter is username, then the password, and here it's have user ID. So first I will take username, then again password column, then after that we can take the user ID as this. So I will copy it and paste it here and make a new column. Then here user ID. So next here I'm going to give the values, then again two brackets, then two single quotations as these. So now I can enter the data here. First Tilan, then his email is this. I will copy it from here. After that, user ID is 1. So here I will put this and I put the colon at the end. So the same query I am going to use here. So I will copy it and paste it here. Then I will change the data on here as Amanda. So I will replace it on the Tilan. Then here the password is Amanda at #682. So here I will copy this. Then I will paste on this second data. Then her user ID is 6. So now I have made the two insert queries to insert this data to our system login table. So you can see data table is empty. So I will enter these. Effect.rows are 2. When I go to the data tab and refresh these, here you can see now we have entered the two data. So this is the question. I think you have understand why I have first entered the addresses and after that why I have entered the users. So I think I have explained it well and you have understand it well. I have done it on my best. I will meet you from question set 35. Entering the question set 35 is going to talk about entering the data to our GRNs and other tables, remaining all the tables. So I will stop from here, guys. Still I meet you from next video. Goodbye.